Here's Michael Olivier with Talking Wine.
I'm talking to Rian Moller, who's a winemaker at Perdeberg Winery. Perdeberg has a wonderful range of wines which is called Simply Delicious, and is Simply Delicious, which are the varietal wines. But they also produce a wonderful reserve range of wines, all of which are printed in heavy red in their Plateau Wine Guide. So obviously these wines are seriously special. They're on sale at the winery and in some restaurants. So I'm going to ask Rian to tell us about them. Morning, Rian.
Morning, Michael. How are you doing?
I'm good, thank you. I'm good. We're so excited to be talking about these delicious wines of yours, of your reserve range. Tell us, let's start off. Which one are we going to start off with? The Sauvignon?
No, I'm going to do the Chenin first.
Chenin, okay. Well, Perdeberg is the home of Chenin, so that's a good place to start.
The Chenin Blanc Reserve is basically, compared to the Chenin Blanc which we spoke about last, basically a Chenin Deluxe, with all the extra toppings on and what you have it. So it shows very good complexity. It has a good, nice diversity, and it's a real reflection of what Chenin Blanc can do in the Upper Paarl area. On the nose, it reminds me of tropical aromas with pineapple and guava and honeycomb flavors that lingers around in your glass the whole time. And the palate is really juicy with a bit of vanilla and has got a lot of structure and it finishes a little bit off dry.
A little bit of oak there too?
Yeah, the Chenin is 50% unwooded and 50% wooded.
Nice.
And the wooded part is also a blend between new barrels and older second and third fill barrels.
Yeah. So you've got the fruit there and just that lovely background of the oak.
Yeah.
Let's talk Sauvignon Blanc.
All right, Sauvignon Blanc. Sauvignon Blanc is usually the talk of the town. And what's interesting for Sauvignon Blanc for me is really it gets divided up to or between cool climate and warm climate Sauvignon Blanc.
Yeah.
I mean, for the listeners who don't know, in cool climate Sauvignon Blanc has usually got that more asparagus, much more grassy, greener flavors. And that's usually because the chemical component in the wine is called methoxypyrazines, and the more methoxypyrazines is in the wine, the cooler the wine usually is, and the cooler flavors you get. So our wine, Sauvignon Blanc, is also a cool climate Sauvignon Blanc, and it's got a little bit of asparagus, pea soup, and grassy undertones, and the palate shows good density with a crisp natural acidity.
Nice.
Yeah.
Now you've also got a Chardonnay Viognier blend reserve, also of the 2011 vintage. Unusual putting those two grapes together, but it works really well, doesn't it? Yeah.
It's another wine, a wonderful wine to play around with. It's because it differs so much from year to year, depending on the climate and your terroir. This is a blend of Chardonnay, 70% and 30% Viognier. And for me, the Chardonnay really gives a good foundation, while the Viognier just expands the aromatics of the wine.
Yeah.
And some would say 30% of Viognier is a little bit too much in winemaking terms, but in this specific wine, it really blends well and goes well with the Chardonnay.
Nice, and of course, it's had a year in barrel too.
Yeah. Now usually these white wines that's fermented in oak. For me personally, it shows better after a year because there's so much happening in the wine and there's so much structure and backbone and aromas that develops after a while and really change the wine into a totally new wine.
Yeah, nice. Now we're running out of time, but let's quickly talk about the Méthode Cup Classique Brut. Yeah,
that's a successful experiment. It's the 2009 vintage. It's the first time Perdeberg did a MCC and it's all about oysters, yeah. And it's a lovely wine to have with that, and it still shows a very clean and crisp palate.
Nice, and of course it's all about Chardonnay as well, isn't
absolutely.
It? Brilliant. Rian, thank you. It's been lovely talking to you again. And any one of our listeners who are keen to get out there, still your Simply Delicious wines are on the supermarket shelves and available under promotion in some cases.
All right, excellent.
Take care.
Great stuff. Bye.
Bye-bye.
Find out more about wine by visiting michaelolivier.co.za.